everybody, welcome to my second video, or rather supplement video to my guide to Peaks of Prestige Rekindled Duel. In this video I will show you how to play the deck Bamboo Sovereign in order to defeat all of the remaining opponents. If you've read my guide, then you know that I suggested Blade Reforged, the default deck, for opponents 5, 6, and then 8 and 11, for which we need those cards. Maybe there was one thing I did not fully explain in my previous video, but once you finish 5 and 6, which you will have to do in order, the other 12 opponents from the second tier and the third tier will all open up at once, meaning you can do them in any order you want and you can skip any of them as you wish. It's for that reason that I suggested and showcased only 8 and 11 with Blade Reforce, because specifically those two give the cards you need in order to build a Bamboo Sovereign deck, which is Bamboo Groove is the domain card. I'll explain that later. That one doesn't matter. And Lord Galpuff from 8. Really good key card. But last but not least, the key card of Sovereign, which comes from 11. Without it, there is no deck, period. Same for Arrow Prism. 6 also gives some good cards that you can use, in particular Hornet, which is a pretty good novelty that you can use, which I'll also show off. And the other two are not used. So you will use Bamboo Sovereign to beat 7, 9, 10, 12, all the way to 18. And yeah, the last opponent is one hell of a fan of cheating around, let's put it that way. Because 18 has all of the debuffs, all of the extra stuff that all number 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 have. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, perhaps not fully, but you get the idea. So what else do you need besides defeating 8, 11, and obviously 6? You'll also need to unlock certain other cards. The other cards that you need to unlock are as follows. This is as basic as one is, which is, let me see where you are. Dipzap, which is a very good way to get another body on the field, which is actually pretty good. Deploy one Flautist. It do lose 8 HP, but doesn't matter. But it grows up really nicely and also is very nice food for when you actually deploy the fall. Other cards that you'll need to buy is this guy. This guy is also really good. When you deploy this echo, you recover 5 HP, add 1 echo with rally from your deck to hand and gain 1 point of energy, which you will use for Lord Galpuff later. I will explain that in the battle. And of course there's the enhanced rally, which I will explain later. And this one's also really good. It's a little bit of burn on the opponent, but it also increases all of the echoes, which helps. And again, it can be searched up because it has enhanced rally. So those are pretty much the cards that you need to unlock. I don't think there was any other. Otherwise you'll need to double check within my guide. So you're gonna need those 4. So that's in regarding to preparation wise. Once that is done, you can build your deck. So I'm gonna head back to my main account and I'll show you the completed and the full deck. So, be right back. Alright, I am back on my main account. So, let's get into it. So, the deck you have to build. Let's start with that. Of course, Bamboo Groove, as I mentioned. That is one of the 2 key cards, and the other is obviously the false Sovereign. Then the 4 cards that you had to unlock, which cost a total of 6,600 prestige points, which you should have by the point you can build this deck. For that, you want to buy Flautist, Hurry Claw, Chief Cyclone, and Zip Zap. Those are the 4 you need to unlock through prestige points. Everything else comes from the duels you should have done at this point. Arrow Prism, Lord Galpath are both from that as well. Sabe Board, Diggy Daggy, Chess Mimic are all unlocked just through playing from the tutorial quest. Ornat you unlock from number 6, and the other 2 are also unlocked by default. So overall this deck should not be too difficult to build. The only thing to note is from Zip Zap you use 1, and from Flautist you use 2. Because Zip Zap is nothing but a way to get Flautist on the field. But I will showcase an explanation against the 2 opponents, which I will showcase to you and explain the deck on the way. The flow of the deck is actually pretty simple. In round 1, your main goal is to get the strongest false sovereign on the field that you can, and you should end with nothing but him on the field with no energy and no cards in hand. Because this echo will reconstruct all cards in your deployments on and will gain the damage strength and constitution of all echoes that were absorbed. Additionally, for each novelty he constructed, it will also increase damage strength and constitution by 3 each, and those add up. The idea is that you build a very strong false sovereign round 1. That should you win round 1 as well, and from round 2 you build up your other 3, which could be any combination of Flautist, Hurry Claw and Hoochie Cyclone. And afterwards you power them up each round. And with Bamboo Groove that goes by default, because each time you reconstruct, like just once, is already enough to increase the strength and constitution by 1 for all your echoes. So that's really good. The active skill we will only use once, which I will show in combat card battle. So, which deal is I gonna show? A lot of people seem to be struggling against number 7, so we'll start off with that, something slightly less easy. Afterwards, I'll show you against Odgier, number 16, which is in the 3rd tier. The 3rd tier is also the hardest duelist tier there is, and which although is ironically, well, yeah, the strongest, let's put it bluntly. But with this deck you should be easily able to defeat him, because he's not as threatening as his domain make him look like. So yeah, let's go to Aya, the one that everybody on Reddit seems to hate. Because from 6 to 7, this is a bit of a wake-up call, this one. This one is not as easy as 6. And she likes to, just like all the others, show off her cheats. More so than number 6. So let's get into it. Tactics, still Chisa, never changes. She is really good and you want her. Gives her an extra energy and allows you to draw, which you can reconstruct. But we are switching our deck to Bamboo Sovereign. Beyond that, nothing really changes. Start duel. As per the glorious rule of Peaks of Prestige, whatever the opponent does, we do not care. Ironically. So, what are you gonna throw away? Okay, we have 2 good novelties. We have a Cycler and we started with Lord Galpath. This is actually a really good hand. Any 3 costs you generally want to throw away. So, we're gonna keep this. Okay, opponent does his thing. Now, as per usual, we start off with casting our own domain soon. We have the 2 novelties, which is really good, and that's the Galpath, sure. I have to be honest, I'm not exactly sure if it costs that extra copy of a novelty. But yeah, good start for the opponent, not gonna lie. So, the Sovereign activates once we use active skill 5 times. Honestly, you don't have to worry about this. You should reach this in the first round. If you don't, something is wrong. Unlike Ivatia, you should be able to do this 1 round all the time. No exception. Okay, Bamboo Groove activated. Now, we start off really good. First things first, we are gonna cast the novelty, and we're gonna cast the Arrow Prism. Activate the novelty, which will trigger this too, because this is still considered an active skill. So that one's active, we got our energy back, progress 1. Arrow Prism, identical. This is a cycler, really good. Get 1 point of energy, which is what it costs to cast. Draw 1 card and reconstruct, so it cycles its way for another card. And we have Flampist, really good. Now we're gonna cast this one, but we are not using it. If possible, I would not want to use it because I want Sovereign to eat these 2. So unless I get a 3rd novelty, I am not gonna use this. What I am gonna use is Lord Galpuff. And this is actually a really good way to start. When you deploy this Echo, deploy an Echo with Enhanced Rally from your deck and lose 8 HP. 8 HP seems a lot, but we don't really care. The first thing I want to get is this one. When you deploy this Echo, because we're going to go into a little chain right now, you recover 5 HP. Hey! Okay, so we're only 3 in the minus, not 1. And we can get another Echo with Rally. So we're going to do that. Hey, we can get our 2nd Lord Galpuff. So we get our 2nd Galpuff. That's really good. Now we can actually place it again. And we can get another one. Now I should have thrown this one away, which I might actually do soon. But before that, it's always important that you do use the active skill. So let's just not use it right now. But what we are gonna do is activate the domain. We select the Lord Galpuff. Why? Because we want that rally to become active. This is the only time we use the Bamboo Groove, the rally activation. We only use it once and we just use it, which makes this active. Each time I use an active skill, quick deploy an Echo with unactivated rally to your deployment zone from your deck and reconstruct this card. So for that we need to make space. Okay, we're gonna try this one because it's the only one we have. There's much of a choice. Then we can activate this one. We select this card that we just reconstructed to bring back. And then we can immediately go into the 3rd beefy one. This is all from 1 Lord Galpuff. So we have literally 4 Echoes from 1 card draw. And as you can tell, this is already at 4. That's how crazy fast it goes. This one triggered also the active skill. The Lord Galpuff we had triggered, we activated. We kind of forgot to activate it earlier, I think, for the one we reconstructed. Oops. But you can still see we're done. So the second now that I activate this one, which is an increase, but we're not gonna get it reconstructed because we don't care about that anymore. It's done. So yeah, we use it. When Echo goes up and Sovereign is up. This is really good because we had to use this one. And we can reconstruct this one, which will also trigger the Bamboo Groove. So this one is out, that means we have all the space we needed. We still have 3 energy, so we can actually continue with the same as usual. We just draw. We get a Sabir, sure. Transform it, more energy. And now the next part is we're just gonna power this up as much as possible. Okay, we got Prism, doesn't really much, but we're still gonna use it. Because it's still an extra card draw. It cycles through without a cost of energy. Do we want this more? Yes, we want as much energy and card draw as we can. So we're just gonna keep on going. Oh, we have the novelty actually, but this one is not needed anymore actually, ironically. But we can actually reconstruct it to bump everything up. Cast a novelty. We could use the novelty, which we want, because we can power up anything, doesn't really matter, let's just power up that one. So now we have the 2 novelties for the Sovereign, which is really good. These 2 are also getting really strong. We still have this one, well, as long as we have energy, and we have cards in hand, we do not want to do anything. So we just keep on drawing, because there's nothing much else to do. We have Lord Galpuff. Do we want to cast Lord Galpuff? Honestly, no. At this point it doesn't matter. We have basically a buffet ready to be feasted upon. So why bother? So what's the last one? Another Prism, but we can cast it because we have no energy, but that's fine. So we toss everything else away and you can see everything grows. This one we cannot toss even if we wanted to, it wouldn't let us, so that's fine. And we toss this one. And now we have probably one of the strongest Fall Sovereigns that we can get. So let's cast it and end this. This is what you should end with on round 1, preferably. I have to admit, this is probably one of the strongest false weapons I've ever seen, but we got a little bit lucky with our opening hand. Now, we place it in front of the opponent's strongest monster, which is actually, I suspect, the Iron Hoof. And the rest aren't really that threatening. And this is how you end round 1. Always. From next round onwards, we will reconstruct the entire board, but this, no energy, no cards in hand. Domain is no longer relevant, other than for its passive effect. We do not use this one anymore. So let's fight. Also, don't forget that every time you restart the game, the speed will have reset. So we're gonna click that information away, and as you can tell, the false sovereign is just destroying the enemy. And this opponent is a little bit weak, so I think next round it will die, because the false sovereign deals 23 damage once you win. Now we're gonna on to the next part, and that is basically very simple. We're gonna rebuild our board. So, what do we have? Yeah, okay. Not really that great, I'm not gonna lie. So we are gonna use Mimic. Not yet, we're gonna draw first. Maybe we'll actually get the other novelties, because right now with false sovereign on the board, we don't have to worry about anything. So we just draw once. Okay, this is good to get Flantis on the board. We can use this one to get another one up. And with this one we can actually maybe get another one up, but it doesn't really matter. We can also burn the enemy with this one if we really want to, but there's no real way to go about it. So I'm gonna cast this one. I'm gonna get the novelty for now. Then I'm gonna activate it, which is also again an active skill. And yeah, it also powers up this guy, which is really good. Then we have the Mimic, but we are kind of running out of energy. Yeah, okay, we're kind of bumped out, we can't really do much. This is unlucky, we had too many of the big ones. And not much else to do, so all we can do right now is just let these two grow and then go ham on the enemy again. This is unfortunate, it happens. Like I said, really good hand for the first round, really bad hand for the second round. Doesn't really matter, because in the end the Zip Zap still helped to get that thing up, and we're just gonna throw everything away because there's nothing much else to do. And it still pumps everything up, we still have a very strong sovereign, and we're probably gonna win anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's fight, let's end this. One thing to note that I really didn't do, and that is place the Flautist in a backline, because it's a ranged one. But yeah, this is a false sovereign. He's so strong that whatever else you have on the field doesn't really matter. 26. Okay, so that is 7. I hope I brought some justice for everyone who dislikes Aya. I can't entirely blame you. And let's pick number 16. Let's do 16. So we're gonna go to another one, and I'll show you the second one in the third tier. Let's pick 16. Odgier. Every time the Duelist deploys an echo, the echo gains toughness. What is toughness? Basically they take less damage every X amount of seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Again, it doesn't really matter too much. So, yes, we're gonna go for another duel. Same thing, Chisa, Bamboo Sovereign, start duel. I'm gonna go slightly faster over this now, because it's still the same thing. This guy just has a whopping 85 HP, so expect to take longer. We have Lord Galbuff again, which is good. We have an energy and we can draw extra. And we have a Mimic. I'm actually inclined to pick this because of the thing. So again, great hand. Now we have to let this guy go well, and let's see. Whenever Like I said, this thing is worse on number 18, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm actually surprised this is everything the opponent puts up. But okay. Bamboo Groove, gonna always start with that, simple as that. I'm gonna play the novelty, get the energy. I'm gonna draw. Cycle. And energy, always try to get energy first in case you do run out by accident. Then we're gonna draw some more. We can use the other Sabir board, we can cycle again. Oh, this is really good, but we're gonna go into a little chain. We have enough energy, so I'm gonna place this, but again, I am not gonna use it. So I'm gonna throw, ironically, do I have to? Now I could just use this and grab the other one actually, which I am actually very tempted to do. Yeah, we can actually do this now because we still have the Mimic to grab the other novelty. So we're just gonna put this one into play, which I kind of screwed up because I forgot to throw the gold buff away. Doesn't really matter. So we're gonna throw one gold buff away, place this one. Oh, grab that one. Which we could place, but we're gonna draw first. I'm gonna toss this one away because it doesn't really help. Now for this one to work, it says specifically from your deck, since we have these two already on the field, and these two are the only ones we have in the deck, we need to throw this one away. Then we place this one on the field. And we're kind of done. Now, this one is ironically still at 4, which we don't really care because they just pump each other up so much. We don't really have to do anything, so we're just gonna use this one. Active, good, that one got pumped. We pump this one up. Pump this one, doesn't really matter, because either way everything's gonna get eaten. So, despite the fact I made some mistakes, we still got a very, very beefy ball covering. So we can draw one more time. Air Prism, which you cannot use, but we can throw this away, throw this away. We place again the Sovereign and he's gonna eat everything up. This is around normal what you get power and strength wise. 48 over 60. Yeah, I mean he has 2 novelties and 2 very weak echoes. I'm actually amazed. Despite the fact we did not use the Bamboo Groove, we do not have to actually. And I still made another mistake, but yeah. This is fine. We could have made the False Sovereign strong, I just realized, but despite the fact I'm making mistakes, the throws what the stack is. Okay, now we are going into reconstructing our board and pumping everything up as strong as possible. Okay, this opponent really likes to hurt himself, which is fine by me. So what did we get? Not a whole lot, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna start with gold buff. We're gonna grab that thing. Again, we get another one, so we can toss that one out. Toss another one. We can just continue the cycle. This one is used to power him up, then we can throw this away. Then we have enough to draw another card. The thing is we have now 3 echoes on the field, so we can't really do all that much. But what we can do is get this one out, cast it, and get the Flantist on the field. Flantist again goes in the back row. And don't forget, this one always in front of your strongest one, because I don't want this guy to go ham on our backfield, which is a lot weaker. We're out of energy, we can't really do much, so we're just gonna reconstruct. Pump everything up, and then we can also use these skills, which I kind of forgot before, that was my oopsie. And everything is as strong as can, and the False Sovereign is still good, so we're gonna go into the next round. And as you can see, these three should remain ranged, but I'm not sure what this guy's doing, but okay. So yeah, we're probably gonna need, let's see, total damage is around 31, so we're gonna need around 2 more rounds, which is fine. The thing with this version is that basically you will be have to power up every single round. We have these 3, so everything else we have in the hand doesn't really matter. So we're just gonna draw. Like, unless we get a novelty, that is good. I prefer like, now we can't even, because we are full on echoes. Never mind. There's not really much all that we can do at this point in time. Now we get a novelty, but this one doesn't really matter anymore. We're gonna just throw all the cards away because they literally do not matter. That's how you power everything up. Power him up, power him up. And this is what you basically do from now on. Literally this. Still above front of the strongest. Back row doesn't matter. And we fight. Now this is a lot faster than a Blade Reforged deck, where you have to go through the combo continuously. But as you can tell, the opponent will not live long anymore. Okay, now the interesting part comes up, and I'm kind of glad the opponent does this, because he brought his own Sovereign out. Round 4, a little bit early for him, but because I usually bring out the boss around 4 or 5 usually. But it doesn't really matter. So, first things first, we're gonna swap this one over here. We need these two in front of each other. Ours is stronger, so let them battle it out. You want these two to battle it out, because if you leave it here, this guy will shred your backline, and then you will lose. Because usually, they will have more than just this one next to it. So you really want this one to be in front of it. There's no other way around it. We do get a good novelty that we can use. We can take this one out. Now, what we could do, which is kind of funny, this guy burns. So we could sacrifice these bunch. Let's see if we can burn the deck out. Because when you deploy this echo, reduce your opponent's HP by 3. You will win if you return this to 0. So that is an option that you can do. Which, to be honest, I'm very tempted. So you know what? I don't think we can do that. We can cycle through it, but I think the chance is gonna be a bit low, so we're gonna play it safe. Same as before, we're just gonna draw because these 3 don't really matter. Okay, we could. No, we're gonna lack the energy. Honest advice, just play it safe. Power up, power up, power up. We're just gonna power this thing up because we really want the rest to be stronger, and then we can just throw everything away again. And as you can tell, this thing is a lot stronger. These guys are now stronger enough to face against this one, but we want to leave this on the back line because this guy is now scary. Scary enough, we only want our scary guy, who's more scary, to beat him. So let's see how that plays out. As you can tell, the guy's melting. stomping, but they're really on each other's throat. And that is it. That's basically how you play Bamboo Sovereign. This deck is very lenient, you can easily make mistakes. Just for the sake of my little guide reputation, just pretend those mistakes were intended to show you that even if you make mistakes, False Sovereign is strong enough to win. And as you can see, this deck is a lot easier to pilot. There aren't really many combos to keep in mind. You want to make up a ground buffet for your False Sovereign to eat. You want to power up your Sovereign and rebuild your board. And then just keep on powering it by throwing cards away. That's literally it. Alright, with that shown, you should have all the tools now to quite easily win a battle. The False Sovereign is also a lot quicker to play, that you don't really have to worry about, even with this guy. I completely forgot to check out what toughness is. Resilience is slightly annoying in the sense that after the opponent echo is defeated, they stick around for another 5 seconds, I believe, maybe even upwards of 10, to keep hammering. That sucks. Yeah. Beyond that, Duelist takes 5 less damage during the battle stage. All of these things don't really matter in the long term. So yeah, some opponents like to burn, but overall, False Sovereign, you can do everything. These 6 are easier in the sense they don't really have any active cheats going on. They probably still have around your life of HP as we saw, this one at 50. But this one at 85. So against Elodie, yeah, you might take up to round 5 perhaps, but you should still defeat it in 4. Just like with Odgier at 85. And even this ability, which looks dangerous, is actually doesn't really mean much. So that is Blade Sovereign. I'll show you guys the deck one more time. It's also in the guide on Reddit, so feel free to check that out as well. Bamboo Groove, False Sovereign. You need to buy/unlock Flautist, Hurriclaw, Ho Chief Cyclone, and Zipzap. Aeropism, Lord Golf are unlocked as per usual, same with Hornet, and the rest is just what you already have. So overall, this deck should be easy to build, easy to pilot, even you can make plenty of mistakes. You saw me making some mistakes. And this card just gets really strong. And thanks to Bamboo Groove, it just keeps growing stronger. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if it was a little bit of yapping. And thank you for watching. I hope you will enjoy this event and enjoy the rest of Wuthering Waves. Thank you for watching and bye bye!